The concrete jungle. Strip away the power grid, the grocery stores, the illusion of safety, and it can turn on us faster than a wild animal. What would you do if disaster struck your city? Right now. No warning, just chaos. Would you know where to go? How to find food? How to protect yourself? Most people don't. But today, you will. Welcome to Trail of Facts, where we uncover the knowledge you need to survive. Now, let's dive in. The initial shock, sirens wailing, people running. This isn't some action movie, mate. The first 24 hours after a disaster are the most dangerous. Panic spreads like wildfire, resources vanish faster than a water hole in the desert, and people become desperate. Your survival depends on making the right moves right now. Step 1. Assess the situation. What are we dealing with here? Earthquake? Blackout? Something far worse? Knowing what happened will shape your next move. Don't just follow the herd, think for yourself. Step 2. Secure those immediate needs. Water, food, shelter, the holy trinity of survival. Forget that comfy bed, you're in survival mode now. Know where to find those hidden water sources, rooftop rainwater, park fountains, even melting ice from stores. Step 3. Steer clear of the obvious danger zones. Out in the wild, you seek high ground, shelter from the elements. In the urban jungle, it's not so different. Remember those shiny skyscrapers and apartment blocks? Most of them are just death traps waiting to happen. We need to be smarter than that. Hotels, my friend, hotels. Often overlooked, but trust me, those hotel lobbies can be gold mines for emergency supplies. And if it's empty, check the employee break rooms. Abandoned buildings are your next best bet. Think office spaces, they usually have those vending machines stocked with enough sugary goodness to keep you going for a while. Subway stations and underground parking garages, your ticket to safety, or at least a temporary reprieve from the chaos above ground. But be wary, mate. Flooding or gas leaks can turn these shelters into tombs in the blink of an eye. Now, remember those places I told you to avoid? Gas stations. One spark, and they go up like a tinderbox. Remember that primal instinct? The one that kept our ancestors alive? It's time to tap into that. When disaster strikes, the first thing to disappear? Food. But a true survivor, a city survivor, knows where to find it. Vending machines. Smash and grab targets. Sure, but often ignored in those abandoned office buildings. We're talking chocolate bars, chips, anything to keep that energy up. Pharmacies, emergency snacks, high-calorie drinks like Ensure or baby formula, not ideal, but we're talking survival, not fine dining here. And yeah, you heard me right, the pet stores, I know it, but trust me, some pet food is edible. Canned dog food isn't going to win any Michelin stars, but it won't kill you. Survival means adapting, and remember? Now, water, fire sprinkler systems. Those things hold gallons of the good stuff. Just make sure it's safe before you go cracking any pipes. Out in the wild, you've got predators. Well, guess what? In a city gone mad, those predators are still there, only they walk on two legs. Desperate people do desperate things. And in a lawless city, you are your only protection. This isn't about becoming some vigilante, mate. It's about awareness, about not being an easy target. Carry something sharp or heavy keys between your fingers, a belt with a heavy buckle. You don't have to be a black belt, just make yourself a harder target. Blend in, for crying out loud. Don't look scared, lost, or like you're carrying a treasure chest of supplies. The goal is to avoid confrontation, to disappear into the urban jungle. Travel in groups if you can. There's strength in numbers, and a lone wolf is easy prey. Remember, 2 sets of eyes are better than 1, and 4 hands are better than 2 when it comes to defending yourself. It's decision time, the hardest one you might have to make. Do you stay put, try to weather the storm in your concrete bunker, or do you risk it all and make a run for it? There's no easy answer, it all comes down to one thing: risk versus resources. If you've got a decent stash of food and water and your location is relatively safe from looters and fires, staying put might be your best bet. Remember, every time you venture out, you're taking a gamble. But if those supplies start running low, if your gut tells you it's getting too dangerous, if the situation takes a turn for the worse, then it's time to go. Don't hesitate, don't second-guess yourself, trust your instincts. Now if you do decide to make a break for it, you better be prepared. We're not talking about packing your entire life, just the essentials. First things first, a portable water filter. Trust me, you don't want to be sipping on contaminated water in a disaster zone. Next, a flashlight and batteries. When the sun goes down, the city becomes a whole different beast. A good multi-tool can opener, knife, screwdriver, you'll be surprised how many uses you'll find for it. The city, it's a jungle out there, even on a good day. But when disaster strikes, it's the ones who are prepared, the ones who know how to survive, who will make it out alive. Surviving an urban disaster isn't about luck, it's about knowledge. Now that you know what to do, will you be ready when it happens? Hit subscribe to Trail of Facts, because the best time to prepare was yesterday. The second best time, right now. In the throes of an urban disaster, communication becomes your lifeline. Knowing how to stay connected in chaos can mean the difference between life and death. When cell towers fail and internet connections drop, what will you do? First, invest in a battery-powered or hand-crank radio. It's your best bet for receiving emergency broadcasts. Two-way radios are also invaluable for short-range communication with family or group members. Make sure everyone in your group knows how to use them and has a designated frequency. Next, consider signal mirrors and whistles. These low-tech tools can help you attract attention when all else fails. And don't forget about pre-arranged meeting points and times. Having a plan in place ensures you can reunite with loved ones even if you can't communicate directly. In a world where information is power, staying connected can help you stay one step ahead. So prepare now. Because in the chaos of an urban disaster, communication could be your most crucial survival tool. In the aftermath of an urban disaster, medical emergencies are inevitable. Knowing how to provide first aid in the field can save lives, including your own. First, keep a well-stocked first aid kit within reach. Include essentials like bandages, antiseptics, pain relievers, and a CPR mask. But having supplies is only half the battle. You need the know-how to use them. Learn basic first aid techniques, how to stop bleeding, treat burns, and perform CPR. In high-stress situations, these skills will come in handy. If someone's injured, assess the situation quickly. Check for breathing and pulse. If necessary, perform CPR. For bleeding, apply pressure and elevate the wound. Remember, staying calm is crucial. Panic can turn a manageable situation into a dire one. Practice these skills regularly so they become second nature. In a crisis, your ability to act swiftly and effectively can make all the difference. Prepare now. Because in an urban disaster, being ready for medical emergencies could be the key to survival. When chaos strikes, having a secure shelter becomes your top priority. In an urban environment, finding a safe and stable place to rest can be challenging but crucial. First, consider the materials around you. Debris, abandoned buildings, and even vehicles can be transformed into temporary shelters. Look for sturdy structures that can protect you from the elements and potential threats. Use tarps, blankets, and any available materials to create a barrier against wind and rain. If you're in a multi-story building, avoid the ground floor to minimize the risk of intruders. Choose a location with multiple exits for a quick escape if needed. Keep your shelter hidden and discreet to avoid drawing unwanted attention. Remember to insulate your shelter for warmth, using layers of clothing or blankets. A well-built shelter not only provides physical protection but also a psychological sense of security, which is vital in high-stress situations. Survival is about adapting to your environment, and a makeshift home can be your sanctuary amid the chaos. Stay resourceful, stay vigilant, and make your temporary shelter a fortress of resilience. In a city under siege, knowing how to navigate the urban landscape can be the difference between life and death. First, familiarize yourself with the layout of the city, major roads, landmarks, and potential choke points. Use maps, both physical and digital, but remember that technology can fail. Always have a backup plan. When moving through the city, avoid main roads and open spaces. Stick to alleyways, back streets, and underground paths like subways and tunnels. These routes are less likely to be patrolled and can provide cover. Pay attention to your surroundings. Look for signs of danger like broken windows, abandoned vehicles, or areas that seem too quiet. These can be indicators of recent activity or traps. Utilize the city's infrastructure to your advantage. Rooftops can offer a bird's-eye view and a safer route. Bridges and overpasses can provide quick escape routes. Always have multiple exit strategies in mind. Remember, stealth is crucial. Move quietly, avoid drawing attention, and blend in with the environment. The urban jungle is a maze of opportunities and threats. Navigate it wisely, and you increase your chances of survival. In the midst of chaos, your mental health is just as crucial as your physical survival. Stress, fear, and uncertainty can take a toll on your mind, affecting your decisions and resilience. The first step is to acknowledge your emotions. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, but don't let these feelings paralyze you. Take deep breaths and focus on the present moment. Find small routines to maintain a sense of normalcy. Whether it's a simple hygiene ritual or a few minutes of meditation, these practices can ground you. Stay connected with others if possible. Human interaction, even in small doses, can provide emotional support and a sense of community. Remember to take breaks. Constant vigilance can lead to burnout, Find a safe spot to rest, even if it's just for a few minutes. During these breaks, engage in activities that can distract and calm your mind, like reading a book or listening to music. Mental resilience is built on hope. Hold on to positive thoughts and remind yourself of your strengths and past successes. Visualize a future beyond the current crisis. Your mental state can be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. Keep your mind sharp, your spirit strong, and never lose hope. In the battle for survival, staying sane is half the victory. In the heart of chaos, the strength of a community can be the key to survival. When resources are scarce and danger is imminent, banding together with others can provide safety in numbers and a shared pool of knowledge and skills. First, identify trustworthy individuals. Look for people who are calm under pressure, resourceful, and willing to cooperate. Establish clear communication channels and roles within the group. Whether it's someone skilled in first aid, another in navigation, or someone adept at foraging, each member brings unique strengths. Create a plan. Decide on meeting points, resource-sharing strategies, and defense mechanisms. A well-coordinated group can fend off threats more effectively and manage resources more efficiently than individuals acting alone. Support each other emotionally. In times of crisis, morale can be as important as physical resources. Share stories, provide encouragement, and maintain a hopeful outlook. This emotional support can fortify the group's resolve and enhance everyone's ability to cope with the stress. Remember, cooperation is not just about survival, it's about rebuilding a sense of normalcy and humanity amidst the chaos. Together, you can achieve what seems impossible alone. In a world turned upside down, community is your lifeline. Band together, stay strong, and face the challenges as one. In the midst of urban chaos, securing resources is paramount. Food, water, and medical supplies are the lifeblood of survival. Start by scavenging local stores, but remember, you're not alone in this quest. Be strategic and quick, avoid direct confrontations, and always have an escape route. Once immediate needs are met, think long-term. Identify locations that others might overlook: office buildings for vending machines, schools for cafeterias, and even abandoned homes for hidden stashes. Water is crucial. Locate sources like ponds, rivers, or even rainwater. Purify it using portable filters or boiling methods. Remember, hydration is non-negotiable. Medical supplies can be found in pharmacies, clinics, and even public restrooms. Stock up on essentials like bandages, disinfectants, and pain relievers. Once you have supplies, managing them is key. Ration food and water, and keep a detailed inventory. This ensures you know what you have and what you need. Bartering can also be a valuable strategy. Trade excess items for what you lack, but always be cautious. Trust is a rare commodity in desperate times. In sum, finding and managing resources is a skill that can mean the difference between life and death. Stay vigilant, be resourceful, and always think ahead. Your survival depends on it. In this urban jungle, it's not just about finding resources, it's about managing them wisely. Stay sharp, stay safe, and stay alive. As we wrap up, remember, preparation is your best ally. In a city under siege, every decision counts. From finding food and water to securing shelter and staying mentally strong, it's all about survival. Gear up, stay alert, and be ready for anything. The urban jungle is unforgiving, but with the right mindset and skills, you can make it through. Stay sharp, stay safe, and above all, stay alive. Your survival story starts now.